What's up guys, Big Poppa Leadz here, and in today's video I'm going to talk about how you should do targeting on Meta. When you're starting out a campaign especially, it's very important that you get your targeting right because there's a lot of different opinions out there on how to target properly. But in today's video, I'm going to silence all the myths. I'm going to show you exactly how to target so that you can, again, start getting leads and start getting some data to then build on top of for your campaigns. And guys, make sure that you're subscribed because I'm about to be producing a ton of content on this channel. I've been pretty fired up lately, getting tons of questions in school that are inspiring me for videos. So make sure you subscribe and click below to join our bootcamp. It's just $99 a month right now, and you can cancel anytime. You get all of our ad templates, all of our funnel templates. You get 2 weekly calls, and I'm even doing one-on-one audits now every single week. So I can literally look at your ads and tell you what to do. We just had a guy, Dan, the other day. I looked at his ads. He spent $1,000 without really any results, and he's already got 3 leads for $14 as of this video. Another guy, Raphael, he had $40 leads, and they're down to $3, and he's already closed 2 or 3 deals within just a few days, guys. It's 99 bucks, and it's going to reap rewards for you into the future. So join below for 99 doll hairs, and we'll see you there. Without further ado though, let's jump into the video and talk about targeting. What's up guys, Big Poppa Leadz here. And guys, I got a huge list of videos I'm filming right now. So if you want to learn something about generating leads for your business, you're a sales rep, you want to generate more leads for your, you're in a solar company, you're a life insurance agent, you run an agency and you want to stop doing retainers, you want to sell leads instead. Guys, I'm about to go off on this YouTube channel. I'm about to bring you some straight value this fall. So jokes aside, guys, I'm really excited about all the videos I've got on the docket, but today I want to talk What's up guys, Big Poppa Leadz here, and in today's video I'm going to talk about how you should do targeting on Meta. When you're starting out a campaign especially, it's very important that you get your targeting right because there's a lot of different opinions out there on how to target properly. But in today's video, I'm going to silence all the myths. I'm going to show you exactly how to target so that you can, again, start getting leads and start getting some data to then build on top of for your campaigns. And guys, make sure that you're subscribed because I'm about to be producing a ton of content on this channel. I've been pretty fired up lately, getting tons of questions in school that are inspiring me for videos. So make sure you subscribe and click below to join our bootcamp. It's just $99 a month right now, and you can cancel anytime. You get all of our ad templates, all of our funnel templates. You get 2 weekly calls, and I'm even doing one-on-one audits now every single week. So I can literally look at your ads and tell you what to do. We just had a guy, Dan, the other day. I looked at his ads. He had spent $1,000 without really any results, and he's already got 3 leads for $14 as of this video. Another guy, Raphael, he had $40 leads, and they're down to $3, and he's already closed 2 or 3 deals within just a few days, guys. It's 99 bucks, and it's going to reap rewards for you into the future. So join below for 99 doll hairs, and we'll see you there. Without further ado though, let's jump into the video and talk about targeting. All right, guys. So targeting is important. Duh. All right. When we're targeting, there's a few things that we want to consider. If you're running a national campaign, that's one thing. If you're running a more specific campaign in a state or in maybe a local area, that's another. So let's first talk about what I think most of you are probably doing, and that's at the state level. So I have a campaign here, final expense that we ran in Texas. This is just a test that I did to show you fine folks how to run some ads. And let's see what I did here. I've got a few different examples. So if you're doing state specific, maybe you're an agent, and maybe let's actually say you're an agent, a life insurance agent, or you're in solar, and you can work in a few different states. There's a few different options you have. You could go state-specific campaigns like this, North Carolina, Georgia, Texas, or you could group all of those states together. And there's a few pros and cons to both of those things. So when you are doing state-specific, it gives you the ability to call out the people in that state, or maybe even a subset of those people. Let's see if I have done this. I guess this is final expense, so I wouldn't have done this here. But I've just got Texas, 55 to 65 plus, I have no interest targeting, right? Because I have a decent sized audience here of 3.6 to 4.3 million. So I'm calling out Texas. I'm not doing any sub interest targeting. I've got a good sized audience here. I look for an audience anywhere from 1 million to about 10 million. You can get away with like 250,000 depending on the offer and what you're doing. But with something like solar or life insurance or roofing, mortgages, I want my audience like sweet spot 1 to 10 million. That's a pretty good sized audience. Anything over 10, you run the risk of being too broad. Sure, you can make it work. I definitely run campaigns that are over 10 million, but we have big budgets and we've got a lot of different moving parts going on. But once you get over 10 million, you probably want to throw some interest targeting in there or some age targeting, or start to kind of call out a subset of the audience. And I'll show you how we do that in a second. Once you're under 1 million, you run the risk of not being able to get enough volume because you're going to burn through your audience too quickly. So those are some things to consider. Again, so with North Carolina, Georgia, and Texas, I can target just Texas and I can call them out in my ads, which I do here. Did you know Texas seniors could get life insurance with no medical exam, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I've called out Texas seniors, right? I could combo all three of these into one ad set, and maybe I'd probably still do the same thing. I would have a pretty big audience there, but at least I'm still calling out seniors. I'm still calling out a subset of the audience. It'd probably be about 8, 9 million, which would be great. You could also combo like 15 states and run. You could run a 30 million person audience. There are people in Bootcamp that do that. We've done that as well, like I said. But when you're starting out, again, back to basics, it's just nice if you can get an audience 1 to 10 million, call them out specifically in the ad. So I'll show you another example here of a way that we've done that. Let's go to Ontario, for example. It's a bigger province up here. So this is a funnel with text verification, about 14 different questions. We're getting leads for $18. Where am I? So we've got, this is just in kind of Toronto here. Not a very big audience, so I'll talk about that as well. So let's say that you get a client, you're going to sell leads, or maybe you're a solar person, you can only work with a certain area and you're restricted by that. Guys, I'm just going to riff off examples here, and hopefully you fall into one of these categories. And if you don't, comment below and I would love to answer your question. But so let's say you're solar or your life insurance, you can only do 40 miles within a city, for example. You're restricted on your audience. Totally get that. Obviously, that's business. That's how things work. Sometimes you can only work with certain parameters. What I like to do with life insurance is, let's just say, actually, I was targeting the entire state first. Okay, so this is where I'm starting off with. I'm starting off with the entire, they changed this. I'm starting off with the entire, okay, thanks, dude. Starting off with the entire province here. Facebook, I swear, is the silliest thing ever. Okay, so entire province, 3.7 million, 4.3. I could just target this entire province for life insurance, but I probably want to still narrow down my targeting a little bit. So again, if I was doing final expense, I could target seniors. If I'm doing life insurance, I'm probably going to target parents. The reason being is then I still get to call out a certain subset of the audience in my ads. So in this case, I would say, hey, Ontario parents, right? I could just say Ontario residents and I'd have a bigger audience. But I found for life insurance specifically, I like to call out parents. If this was solar, I might just say all of Ontario, or maybe I'd mention something to do, Ontario homeowners obviously is going to be important for solar. For roofing, that's going to be important. For maybe for mortgages, it's, it could be parents as well for mortgages. If you can find a way to call it your audience, that's going to help you in your targeting, because instead of thinking about what that person is looking for, i.e. putting life insurance, and you're just going to be competing with everybody, think about a way you can just call them out, because people are going to respond emotionally to being called out in that ad. Hey, Ontario parents, not, hey, are you looking for life insurance? It's like you already know they are because they're looking for life insurance and they've probably filled out 50 other forms. But if you can call them out because of a trait of who they are or where they live, that's actually going to get you better leads, because you're probably going to get people that haven't been too far down the funnel and haven't already talked to 1,000 different people about life insurance. Hopefully that makes sense. Guys, I'm ranting today. Let's freaking go. Ontario. So again, let's go back to that, what I was saying about if
Toronto. If you had, say, a client that only wanted a certain vicinity, I have 1.6 million here in Toronto. It's obviously a big city here in Canada. Let's say that was a little bit smaller. There's a few things you can do to make this work. Again, you can get even more specific. So if somebody gave me Toronto, I'd be calling out Toronto in the ads. I wouldn't be doing any sub-targeting here. So I think I had parents on there before because that was a very specific campaign we were running. But if I'm just going into a city, let's even say instead of Toronto, we've got something smaller. Like let's say you're in Regina. I know these are all Canadian cities that Americans are like, what's that? Okay, you know what? I'll use an American city. Let's go with, I'm thinking Tennessee, Nebraska. What's a city in Nebraska? No, let's go, is Sacramento pretty big? Sacramento's too big. Tacoma, just an hour south of me. Tacoma, Washington. I feel like that's not the biggest city ever. Perfect, 749,000. So instead of worrying about interest targeting in Tacoma, just call out in your ads Tacoma. Say, hey Tacoma, we've got this exclusive solar, secret for you that we want to tell you about. Hey Tacoma families. You could still call out families in your ads, even though you're not necessarily targeting parents here. You could say, hey Tacoma families, there's these new exclusive life insurance policies that you're not going to want to miss. Like they're only available to families in Tacoma. We get exclusive with our call outs. I think a lot of people worry about putting the perfect targeting in, but as long as you're calling out your audience properly in the ads, it doesn't always matter. And the more broad you can go, usually that's going to mean Facebook is going to have room to work and find people that are likely to respond to your ad, again, because you're calling them out properly. So let's go with one more example here. Let's say that, you can pretty much work United States wide. Okay. So I'll give you guys a few examples of that. So I've got my age 30 to 60. I'll just turn that off. Oops. 18 to 65 plus. Okay, so here's what I'm working with. I run, let's say, mortgage leads or life insurance or something financial across the entire US. How do I break this down so that I'm not targeting 152 million people, because it's not going to work? So I'll give you a few examples. Life insurance, I would narrow this down again. I'm with life insurance, I'd probably go state by state, to be honest with you. But again, there's lots of people doing multiple states. Life insurance, you might want to target like 30 to 60. I would target that parents all segment. Parents, and you could do different ages. It's like, hey, in the ad, hey, do you have one of those annoying teenagers? It's important to get life insurance so that you protect them, because let's be honest, they're not going to be able to pay the mortgage on their own working at McDonald's. Okay, so I've just spoken to a specific subset of the audience, right? And now I've got a good size audience here. I could target all parents. I could do a ton of different things for life insurance there. Let's say I wanted to do final expense. 60 to 60. I mean, actually, that's a point I'll talk about in a second. You've got 36 million people here. Maybe you target even further by, again, you could go state by state. You could target coastal cities and say, we love living on the coast. That's a terrible idea, but you get the idea. I'm trying to segment my audience out and call them out more in the ad. What I just did there was actually something that I've done with success a lot, is target an age group and say, if you are 60 years old, then you're going to want to read this. And if someone's 60, they're like, oh, hell yeah. And you can target 2 million people across the US by doing that. You could run an ad for 60-year-olds, 61, 62, 63, 64, every single age group, and say, if you're 31, you need to read this because it's not going to be available next year. And maybe it's life insurance, because life insurance goes up every year and maybe they won't qualify and they'll get hit by a bus and they should have bought life insurance. So there's all these different ways to segment your audience. And I know this video is about targeting, but I really wanted to talk about how it's not just about the interest you put into Facebook, it's how your ads need to relate to that targeting. Guys, I don't even know where this video would go, but this is my rant that has come out of my brain in this video. So hopefully that's helpful. Again, if you're doing something local, figure out how you can really speak to that local audience. If you're Charlotte, North Carolina, or is that South Carolina? I don't know. How do you speak to those people? What's unique about those people? Do they love the Carolina Panthers? Do they love the Gamecocks, I think it is? No, I think that's wrong. You get the idea, guys. Call out the audience. Go as broad as you can with your targeting. I would say 90% of the time you want to be as broad as you can be, and keep that audience. Let's even expand it 500,000 to like 20 million people. If you're at 100 million, that's too much. If you're at 50,000, it's going to be tough to get volume unless you're making like 50K per deal and you're looking for diamonds in the rough. For most people though, 500,000 to about 20 million, let's say 30 million even, you could probably get away with it depending on how you're calling out your audience. So guys, hopefully that video was helpful. Join the bootcamp, $99 a month. You can listen to me rant even more, get access to all the calls, all the templates, all the how-tos of how to generate leads for yourself. If you're a salesperson, life insurance, solar, you're selling freaking roofs, mortgages, we can show you how to generate leads because we've done it. We've sold hundreds of thousands of leads. We've spent millions of dollars on these platforms. And we're just there to answer your questions. Trust me when I say I will go above and beyond. If you need help, I will freaking help you guys. I will spend time with you and help you navigate these ads because I love nerding out about this stuff. This Giga Chad likes to nerd out. I'll see you guys in the next video.